This is revenue marketing raw. No fluff, no vendor pitches. Just the truth your CMO won't say out loud. Featuring Jeff Pedowitz and Dr. Debbie Qaqish. Let's go!
We're live.
We are live, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Today is one of those days I'm reminded by I love the South. 80 degrees in March. It was great. So I'll take it.
I actually had to turn my air conditioner on today. I'm in Pensacola, as you know, and it just was on that edge. It was just, no air moving in the house. It was just uncomfortable. The air conditioner had to come on today.
Yes, we're not complaining. We'll take
the 80 degrees. Thank you.
Summer.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's right.
So, we've been together a long time, and some really exciting news coming from your world. I know for years you've been talking about how passionate you are, how often you actually informally mentor and coach these CMOs. You've joked you should have a couch in your office.
Yeah.
Now I guess you sort of officially do, because you're starting this thing, right? So tell us what you got.
Yes, I am, Jeff, and thank you. My new company is called The Growth Factor, and it is all about helping marketing leadership perform better at work in an always-on, high-pressure cooker environment. And we all know that is exactly where we live and where we work today.
Seems like we've been working on that for a long time. A lot of our marketers have. So why now, though, versus, is there something significant about 26?
I think there is. I think what I'm seeing, Jeff, and, we have worked with so many executives through the years in marketing. And the company started in 2007. You and I met in 2004. And we've just observed these really smart marketing leaders who should be very successful, just struggling. And I sat back one day and I said, why are they struggling? They're drowning in this really great technology. They have great support. They've got talented people. What is going on here? And then I began to read a little bit about this thing called the age of overwhelm. And if you think about it, that is exactly where we live today. Whether it's at work or home, we are overloaded with information, with complexity, with change. The world has changed so much.
I'm just trying to watch a show on Netflix, right? It's overwhelming, right? You're like,
it's overwhelming. Right.
5,000 titles,
There's just so many things overwhelming. And as I was exploring that, I also began to explore the world of positive psychology. Because as you know, you and I have talked many times, I've been through therapy. And I remember years when I was in therapy, I would learn all these incredible skills, like how to reframe something into an opportunity, or how to reset my system so that I could actually access my prefrontal cortex so I could think. And I'm thinking, why are we teaching people at work these kinds of skills, these inner skills? I call them life skills. And so it just seemed to make sense to put those two things together, because marketing, the pressure is not going to go away. What we have to do is train marketers how to be successful in an always-on pressure environment. Here's an example. Let's say you have a daughter that's going to medical school, which Jeff does. And let's say she wants to be a general practitioner, and she goes through training to be a general practitioner. Well, that training is going to be very different than her friend who says, I want to be an ER doctor. Because guess what? ER doctors have to make decisions and have to have this mental clarity in these high pressure cooker type of situations. And our body doesn't know the difference between life or death. Our bodies only know stress. And when we are stressed, our thinking shuts down, our view of the world narrows, what we think of opportunities narrows. It's the whole fight or flight thing. Your amygdala has taken over. And I just saw a recent study, about 70% of people at work are reporting stress to the level that it's creating mental health issues. So like we train doctors to work in the right environments, why aren't we training marketers to work in the right environments? And that is the essence of the training that I do. Marketing, positive psychology, neuroscience, and leadership. It's just that simple. It just makes sense to me.
What do you say to the marketer that just wants to do the job? Like, I just want to do marketing. I want to tell the brand. I want to tell the story. I want to get closer to my customers. I want to create beautiful campaigns. Why can't I just do that?
That is the wonderful thing about marketers. The majority of marketers that we've met through the years, they love their jobs. They love what they do, whether it's creating campaigns or pipeline or the creative or the PR, whatever aspect of marketing is, they absolutely love what they do. However, when you come into work every day, it's constant change, it's information overload. We're going to change the direction one more time, and it's the 27th time in the quarter that they've done that. All of that pressure really reduces your performance ability at work because you are not bringing your best self. You're bringing that fight or flight person, that fright or flight person. And again, that's very narrowed thinking. So we have to help people do their jobs in an always on pressure environment. And if we can just do that, just those simple things, then they can show up to work and then they can do all those things that they love and do better.
Yeah, you just talked about two things, strategy and performance, and strategy always changing. So it sounds like it's not a strategy problem, then it's a performance problem.
It is.
Or a performance issue.
Jeff, that's a great comment. It is not a strategy problem, and it sure as hell not a technology problem, as we know. It really, really is a human performance problem. The playbook for how we train marketing leaders has changed. Because again, you don't train a general practitioner the same way you're going to train an ER doctor. So there's this additional set of psychological capabilities that marketing leaders need, and that is what positive psychology brings to them. And if you're training leaders the same way that we've always done, and that was in the days when we had at least a calm environment, or if we had pressure, it would go up, but it would come back down. And now it's just pressure, and it just stays and stays and stays. And that is how we have to help people learn what's going on and how they can respond to that pressure so they can perform better and thrive doing it, Jeff. It's not just a matter of doing better work, even though many studies show that the higher a person's well-being or sense of well-being, the better they do perform on the job. And it certainly does make an impact on the company as well. And many companies are seeing this. But the bigger impact is for that individual to be able to thrive at work every day, to want to show up, to want to come to work, and to be excited about what they do and know that they're doing the best work they've ever.
We hear, of course, about quiet quitting and all this other stuff. I wonder if executives ever feel that way, like CMO just
sure
says,
they do.
Gosh.
Sure they do. Oh, come on. How many executives do we talk to at a bar, away from the office, over the telephone? We have done counseling for executives for many, many, many years because they also feel that overwhelm. And I think for marketing executives, it's a little bit worse because where do they go? Who do they talk to? They're not going to go to their team and talk, I'm feeling overwhelmed here. They're not going to go to their CEO and say, wow, I'm feeling overwhelmed here. I mean, where do they go? Who do they talk to? So I think it's a little worse for them than it is for the rank and file.
So I found a good Band-Aid solution. You mentioned the bar. So Sheree and I went out with friends the other night. I had a peanut butter and jelly old fashioned.
Sounds amazing.
Fantastic. Never had it before, but it was really awesome. And I enjoyed it. I guess I just started thinking about it. Like any drink, right, or drug, you feel good in the moment. It's a quick fix. But the next day, you're right back to whatever. The alcohol fades, right? The meal fades. So with the growth factor, what are you doing differently? Because there's a lot of coaching programs out there. Right?
Oh, there are so many coaching programs. And so we have leadership workshops, leadership labs. We also do team workshops. We do speaking and also coaching. And the kind of coaching that I do is I'm not going to be an advisor. I'm not going to be a mentor. The kind of coaching I do is helping you be all that you can be with the belief that you have everything you need to be successful and everything you need. So you're going to be coming up with your own solutions in the kind of coaching that I do. Again, mentor, advice, consulting, that's very, 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 different kinds of things. But I think it's all about these inner skills, and I like to call them inner skills. It's, do you have the ability to bounce back? That's resilience. Do you have the ability to regulate your paranormal and your other paranormal system? If you can't regulate that, you can't even get to a thinking phase of things. And so it's the agility, it's the decision speed, it is stress management. It's all of these things that keep you open and not shut down, so that you're really bringing all of your intellect to the job.
Marketing executives are so busy executing all the time. Does this approach help them get back to being curious, and they're finding their inner discovery again?
Curiosity is a big element of positive psychology, and we find that when people are highly stressed, they really lose curiosity. They lose perspective. They lose the ability to put things in the right order and to say what is more important than something else. So when we work with clients, we work in all of those areas so that they can, again, do their best work.
So, but I mean, marketers are always under pressure, right? That's a given. And it feels like they're always surviving and bouncing from one meeting to the next, one crisis to the next. So how will this help them? How does it help them thrive? How does it help them perform better when they're under pressure?
Well, you've just described a problem. And we always thought, again, we've been looking at this head on since 2004. And with all this technology, we have just seen, and the performance pressure and the complexity of what's happening in marketing, we see that always on pressure cooker situation. And we are not physiologically built to perform under pressure like that all the time. So bringing in skills and techniques from positive psychology helps you address and manage that stress, so that number one, you're not losing time at work, and number two, you are able to bring forward your best work. Because again, when we're in that fight or freeze or flight mode, we can't think.
Deb, is this just for executives, or is it for their teams too?
It is for their teams as well. I've already done a number of workshops for marketing operations folks, and we've done everything from how do you have a purpose at work, and that is kind of life-changing for some people. But marketing operations folks really enjoy having a purpose. They really do. Or we've done things around how to have an open mindset and how to keep that open mindset no matter what is going on. Because again, that opens you up to possibilities versus shutting you down to possibilities. So we do workshops for the teams as well.
I suppose particularly as you move down into the rank and file, you feel like you have less and less control over everything, right? Because you're just constantly being told to do stuff. Yeah. So how does this help an employee gain control of their world?
And that is a great question. I think two answers to that. The first answer is, if you don't understand physiologically what's happening in your body when you're under stress, then you don't have any tools to combat that. As stupid as it sounds, Jeff, breathing, just taking a 3-minute breathing break at your desk helps you get control of your parasympathetic nervous system again, right? You've got your sympathetic, and your sympathetic is the one that, oh my God, the sky is falling, right? And our body doesn't know the difference between I have stress at work and a dinosaur's chasing me, right? And recognizing that you're in that state and saying to yourself, I can't operate in this state. And there's all kinds of things that you can do, but one of the easiest things that you can do is breathe. And there are people that do entire workshops just on breathing. But at work, I don't think there's anything more immediate or more effective than breathing. I know that sounds silly. Or how do you handle worry at work? There's a great exercise where we've got 3 columns. And you think about, okay, in this column, this is the worst this is the worst stuff that could possibly happen to me. I've got to go to work tomorrow. I've got to do that presentation to sales. What is the absolute worst thing that's going to happen to me? And I'm worried to death. On this other side is the absolute best thing that could happen. I mean, they make you VP of sales. I mean, it's just way, way over the top. And then you find yourself somewhere in the middle. And that's just a tool that helps you take a look at worry and say, wow, this is really, really out of context, because what our brain tells us is not true. That's the other thing about positive psychology. You get up and you get to decide what your story is going to be every day. But I have done that exercise we just recently did that with a group of digital marketers. And because they do have a lot of worry, they've got to get those campaigns out. But just helping them understand what worry is, and helping them think at the best, the worst, and then knowing that they're going to be somewhere in the middle, it just takes that stress level way down.
So many years ago, you coined the term revenue marketing. You ushered in this whole wave, right? Because you saw the future when so few people did. Sounds like growth factor could be the same thing.
I think it is. I mean, on my website, I say that AI is not the next revolution. It's human performance. And I truly believe that. I would not be talking about this if we didn't have a world in which it's just always on pressure, complexity, information overload. But what this is doing to us physiologically and what that pressure is doing to us mentally is really very, very unhealthy. So learning from positive psychology and neuroscience, just some tips and tricks and things that I can do so that I'm always working at my best. That is what I think that we need in corporate America. I think every company who has employees needs to be able to help their employees navigate that stress, because it is not going away. Now, you can quit your job, right? You're going to have a whole lot of other stress that comes along with that. But the stressors of the world, and especially within a B2B marketing organization, that is not going to change anytime soon.
No, it's true. And I mean, you hear like Elon Musk and some of these others say, no, we're going to have a higher quality of life. We're going to have less stress because AI is going to be doing all our jobs for us. And, we'll have universal income and all these things. But it seems like that's a big gap between here and there. So,
Jeff, do you think we have less stress in marketing because of AI?
Oh, fuck no.
That's exactly right. It is just like bumped it up to a whole new level. So again, what we have to do is we have to look at what the world and what the work environment is doing to us as people, and then saying, that's not going to change. This pressure is not going to go away unless we have like World War. It's not going to happen, hopefully. And so what we have to do is say, how can I survive in that always on pressure environment? And again, these skills from positive psychology, they help you do that.
So where can they find you, Deb?
Oh, www.growthfactor.us. .us, growthfactor.us. That's where you can find it. I also do some stuff on TikTok. I'll also be coming to a podcast near you. I think I'll be doing about 20 or 25 podcasts this year, just talking about this topic. It is something I'm incredibly passionate about. As you mentioned earlier, Jeff, when you and I were working together, I came up with this phrase, revenue marketing. At the time, it was so revolutionary. Remember, people would look at us like we had just lost our minds. And then somebody would say, oh, that kind of makes sense. I think that is the conversation that we're having right now about people and performance. And the other thing that I'll say about marketing is they are the worst at training their teams. I don't know why that is. Sales gets all the money, customer success doesn't get any, and marketing sure doesn't get any. But we're going to have to invest in our people if we want them to show up to work every day in this pressure cooker environment and be able to thrive and be successful so our companies can be successful. Otherwise, we're just going to keep getting the very high burnout rates, the turnover rates, and it's not going to be good for companies.
Amen to that. Well, Deb, thank you. Thanks for pioneering and helping out. And you guys, you all know where Dr. Deb's at. So go check it out. Go to the Growth Factor. And thanks for tuning in to Revenue Marketing Raw. We'll both be back again next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks.